Hello guys, and welcome here to the Myrtle Beach Speedway for the first time ever in the Jello Cup Series, and this is race number 20 here today. We're only 7 races away from the chase after today. I'm sorry. Only 6 races away after today, my mistake. Anyway, Ryan Monaco will start from the pole. In second, we got Brad Fusion. Third will be Dylan Young. Fourth will be James Wells. Fifth, Tim Randolph. Sixth is Caitlin Sang. Seventh is Griffin Lynn. Eighth is Joseph Curtis. Ninth is Eric Monaco. And in 10th is Joshua Sakali. So let us now take you to the starting lineup here from Myrtle Beach. Here we go. They enter turn 3. Pace car is off. Ryan Monaco and Brad Fusion are going to lead this field to the green flag. We're underway at Myrtle Beach. You could probably already tell the bottom lane is going to be the preferred line, as now Dylan Young is going to get repassed by the 66 Brad Fusion. Keep in mind that 66 needs points today. They are way outside of the top 30, over 63 points back of 30th, and that is Kevin McHugh. So they know it's going to be crucial either to get a second win or get the points, and considering we've already had so many different winners, another win may be necessary for Brad Fusion in order to make the chase. It may not be about getting in the top 30 now. It may be about getting into the top 30 with 2 wins or beating the 16th place drivers. For second there, you see Tim Randolph. He's battling hard to that inside, and he's going to get it. And look behind him, that is Eric Monaco. He is 20-something points I mentioned in knockout qualifying outside of the top 33 behind Eli Bright. A bad day for Eli Bright could very well put him outside of the top 33, and that's what Eric Monaco wants to do. He wants to get locked in to the top 33 going forward. But it's so difficult to pass here, as you can tell early on, and Ryan Monaco gets out to a huge lead early on. This track is just slightly bigger than Martinsville. Next race, these guys will go to Darlington, and then we head to Bristol after this. And the time is winding down. As you see, here comes Tim Randolph. Keep in mind, neither of these two have a win this season. As he looks inside, he won't get it this time. I mentioned in knockout qualifying, this will not be an overtime race, so these guys are going to have to do their best to stay clean, which they've done a good job of. I did not personally think these guys would stay clean very long, being such a narrow and short racetrack. But keep in mind, there are pit stops, and this pit road I saw in knockout qualifying a few guys get cut off trying to come to the pit lane. So this is a pretty tricky pit road to get onto. And I can imagine it'll be kind of difficult with these cup cars, see how they do it. As to the inside goes Tim Randolph. Keep in mind it is so tough to pass here. You really got to run the guy down and then just kind of stick your nose in there, and sure enough that's what Tim Randolph will do. And he'll get to lead a lap. Meanwhile, you get that 5 pinned on the outside. It looks like he got up in the marbles. He wiggled just a little bit. That allowed the 88 to get an open door to pass for the lead, or rather for second. And that also allows Joshua Scully to catch these guys. So move the 88 to second. Brad Fusion remains in third. Yeah, that little bobble by the 5 up in the marbles definitely costed him not just 1 but 2 positions, and now Eric Monaco will set his sights on the race lead. Keep in mind, if you're Eli Bright right now, that's the last thing you want to see, is that 88 battling for the race lead. And if you're Brad Fusion, that also might be the last thing you want to see, because that 88, if he can get a win, would complicate a lot of things. So that would put another driver behind him who has a win, who could make the chase. Right behind him, though, Ryan Monaco continues to slip back. He's going to fall to 6th now at the hands of Ethan Lynn and Joshua Scully. And Caitlin saying, will she have an open door? No. That team has lost quite a few positions, and you can imagine their car might not be handling as well as they like. So maybe look for them to make a couple of adjustments on their pit stop. But here comes the 88. He's making strides, trying to catch the 38 for the race lead. And Ethan Lynn just grabbed 4th. He's been on a tear lately. Here we go. The 88 got a great run off the corner. He's not going to be able to get his nose down there as Tim Randolph goes down to protect the line. But that's only part of it. Like I said, the next part is going to be for that 88 to make a move to the inside and try to pass. He loses a little ground that time. All it's going to take is one little mistake for Tim Randolph, and it could cost him. Right on the bumper. The 88 just about tried to push him into the corner. You tell his patience is running thin. He's going to stick his nose down there. He's going to take the race lead away. Tell him these tracks require a lot of patience, but Eric Monaco's patience wore thin. Just about pushed the 38 into the corner, got him out of his rhythm, and Eric Monaco to the race lead. And that is bad news, because let's see where Eli Bright is in that 13. He's currently in 33rd, barely hanging on to that. He's going to fall to 34th. So right now, he's going to need a really good pit stop to put him back in contention to really stay in this top 33. The inside goes Randolph, once again, he wants the position back. But he's not going to be able to this time. The 88 hangs on the outside lane. We haven't seen a change inside the top 33 in multiple races, so we'll see. Can it be done today is going to be the question on a lot of people's minds. You can see in the background, Ryan Monaco slipped all the way to 10th. As we're coming up on the halfway mark of the race in just a couple laps, we can imagine there will be pit stops very shortly. And Eric Monaco kind of gets a little gap between him and the 38. At 66, Brad Fusion just kind of sitting there in third right now. He really hasn't made any strides yet. Oh, now he's going to make a move. He's going to look for second. I don't know if he'll be able to carry the momentum. That 38's going to enter the corner pretty strong, and he'll hang on and defend the position. Meanwhile, the 88's going to get a pretty decent gap now, and he will come to the pit lane. Griffin Lynn will stay out an extra lap. Brad Stover also stays out, so does Zach Buchanan. And they will all come on now. A handful of guys really stayed out that time. Zach Fitzwater has a little donut on his door. Oh, 37 gets hit. You see the one's going to go around right side tires. And they'll go around and change 4 actually. Oh, he hits the 4 on his way out, lost a few. And I believe the 88 will cycle out to the race lead. Yes, he will. And he's got a 2-second advantage right now. Oh, Eli Bright with damage. No caution. That's just about the last thing Eli Bright wanted to happen. As let's take you through the field. Right now, Eric Monaco is your race leader. You got to go quite a ways back to find second. Or actually, not too far back. It looks like Ethan Lynn is starting to close that gap. He's in second. Don't know if it's damage or a glitch at the moment, but he's liking the way his race car is handling. He is making big strides on that 88. In third, you got Tim Randolph. He's been up front most of the day. Kind of fell back after his pit stop. Same for Brad Fusion in fourth. Fifth, you got Caitlin Sang. She's going to have a little bit of a gap to make up this time by. Brad Stover gains a few positions on the pit lane. He's your point leader, currently in the 6th spot. Seventh is Zach Buchanan. He makes up a couple spots on the pit lane. How about Ryan Monaco in 8th? Your pole sitter had a great run going early. Kind of just fell back after that. Has not been mentioned too much. The 41 Chase Mark's currently in 9th, running pretty well. And in 10th, you got Tyler Rattray. He's also having a good day. Good, quiet day up front in the race. Back up front, though, we're getting close to a battle for the lead coming here, as these guys are caught in lap traffic at the moment, and you can tell Eric Monaco not doing a great job weaving through it, and that is costing him a lot of time on the track, as he's going to look to get around the 78 and just can't do it. And the 7 will now stick his nose in there. There goes Ethan Lynn. He's going to look for the lead. This is the last thing that 66 team would like to see. I'm very sure of that. Because that 7 gets a win, that puts him in a tougher position. Brad Fusion, it will put him in a tough spot. Is Eric Monaco really just starting to back off a little, maybe just trying to get a better exit off the corner. They're still side by side for the race lead, and now the 7 will finally capitalize. Ethan Lynn to the lead. And with 20 laps to go, these guys should have enough fuel to make it the distance. Man, that 88 is just struggling in lap traffic. Yeah, it's not just Brad Fusion that doesn't want to see that 7 leading. McNeilson, Ben Crouch, Eli Bright certainly does not want to see that, but of course it's a better situation than seeing the 88 leading for the 13, but let's actually check in and see where the 11 is, Kevin McHugh. He's currently in 21st, so it looks like that gap is going to close to 30th. Or that gap to 30th is going to really close down after today. Take a look back. Tim Horton's couple laps down. So is 13 Eli Bright. That is not good for them. Then you got Joshua Scully and Max Anderson, both 1 lap down at the moment. We've been surprisingly caution-free to this point, as behind them, we got ourselves a battle for second. Eric Monaco is slipping back. And now he's under pressure from the 38. Brad Fusion trying to get around the 83 right now, because he knows if he can do that, he's got a clear shot at that number 7 out in front of him. There's no way Brad Fusion's going to be in the top 30 after this race, but he's going to close the gap if he can just get around that 83. But 83 is making life very difficult right now. The gap remains the same that time. But Brad Fusion's second. He could be on his way to his second victory of the season if Ethan Lynn messes up. But obviously Ethan Lynn wants to keep that gap. And it closes about a 10th that time. And that 21 is not allowing the 7 by, and that is going to really close the gap this time. With 11 laps to go, the gap is now 7/10 of a second to the race lead. There you go, the laps are winding down. 10 now to go. Now it's 6.5 tenths. Can the 7 hang on? That is going to be the question. That gap is now slowly starting to close. You can tell these guys are really struggling with lap traffic today. And that gap is really going to close this time. It should be within a couple tenths, 3 tenths on the nose. And now Brad Fusion will get right on the bumper and kind of just say, hey bud, I'm right here. Here we go, we're going to have a battle for the lead here with 7 laps of racing to go. The 7 is going to block the bottom lane. He is not going to allow Brad Fusion around. If Brad Fusion wants to get around the 7, he's going to have to push him. Or he's just going to have to force Ethan Lynn into a mistake with 6 laps to go. And the gap just increased a little bit that time. But obviously he needs to really get that gap increased. 5 laps to go. Ethan Lynn trying to hang on. The 66 gets to the bumper. Is it enough? I don't think so. Four to go. Could that be it for the 66? Keep in mind the tires are really worn at this point. And obviously if you're Ethan Lynn, you're probably hoping for a caution right now, knowing that there is no overtime today. He dives it down. And with 3 laps to go, I think he's got him this time. No. And that could have been a race-winning move right there. And now with 2 to go, about a mile left around this track, Brad Fusion's going to have a lot more work to do. And I think that might have just costed him a chance at a win, because that gap is just starting to grow now. As to the white flag this time, 1 lap to go for Ethan Lynn. He has been on a tear lately, running up front, getting some solid finishes. Has not gotten a win though. As through turns 3 and 4, that will all change today. Ethan Lynn will get his first win of the season here at Myrtle Beach. Brad Fusion will come up just a little short. Used it up trying to catch the 7. He'll have to settle for second, but regardless, a good finish for the 66 team. Eric Monaco comes home in 3rd. This could potentially put him into the top 33. We will have to wait and see. But congratulations to the 7 team, Ethan Lynn. First victory of the season, and that'll put them in the chase, possibly. So we want to thank you for watching. We'll see you at Darlington. Here come your results and standings. Goodbye, everyone.